All right, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're getting into something you might not think is all that exciting, but trust me, it's super interesting. Yellow sticky traps.
All right.
Yeah, those little yellow squares you see in gardens and stuff. We've got a blog post here called
Uh,
Evaluating the Effectiveness of Yellow Sticky Traps for Flying Pests Control. And it was published just today on a site called kianmeng.org, Musings of an Old Software Plumber, dot, dot, dot.
oh, wow.
Pretty interesting, right?
Sounds like it.
The author, who goes by Eng, seems like a really interesting guy himself. He's a software engineer, but also a serious gardener.
Cool.
And from this post, it seems like he's a pretty keen observer and good at solving problems too. So let's get into it. Do these traps actually work?
Well, according to Ang, they do. He found some leftover traps while he was cleaning up and thought, hey, I should test these out in the garden. He's using them to protect his purslane and morning glory plants.
Interesting choices. So what's the setup look like?
Super simple. He literally just sticks them to the sides of his flower pots. Yeah. No crazy contraptions or sprays. Just peel and stick. And get this, after one day, he already had a bunch of insects stuck to them.
Wow, that's impressive. Why are they so effective? Is it just because they're sticky, or is there something else going on?
Yeah, it's a few things working together. For one, you know how a lot of flying insects are attracted to the color yellow?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, it's because they think it's the color of flowers.
Ah,
And flowers mean food for them. So they fly towards the traps thinking it's a snack, and boom, they're trapped.
like a trick.
Exactly.
But doesn't that mean that helpful bugs, like bees, could get trapped too?
That's true. It can happen. That's why it's super important to think of sticky traps as just one part of a bigger pest control plan.
Integrated pest management, right?
Yeah. You don't want to just trap every bug out there.
Right. It's not just setting traps and hoping for the best.
Nope, you got to be more strategic. It's all about understanding what's going on in your garden, figuring out which pests are a problem, and then coming up with a plan that's balanced and doesn't hurt the environment.
Got it. So it sounds like Aang is taking that approach here. He mentioned protecting his purslane and morning glory plants. Any reason why those might be more at risk than others?
Well, both purslane and morning glory are known to attract aphids and whiteflies. And those are some pretty common garden pests.
Oh, right. Makes sense.
Yeah, so it makes sense why he would want to protect them. And, this is actually where the sticky traps become even more useful.
How so?
They're not just for getting rid of pests. Think of them as like a detective tool.
Hmm.
Aang can look at the insects that get trapped and figure out exactly what he's dealing with.
Okay.
It's like a little window into the world of garden pests. That can help him decide what to do next.
So it's like having a bug surveillance system in your backyard.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And this kind of attention to detail seems to be a theme with Aang. He's not just a gardener, remember, he's also a software engineer.
Right. And that reminds me, I found something really cool about his blog. He's got these notes sections, and they're about all sorts of things. There's gardening, yeah, but also fish keeping, programming, even stuff about dieting. Clearly, he's a curious guy who likes to dive into different things.
Definitely sounds like it.
I wonder if there are any connections between these seemingly random interests. Like, could his approach to software engineering inform his gardening?
You mean like problem solving?
Yeah, exactly. And could his time in the garden, with all the experimenting and adapting, could that influence his work as a software engineer?
It's really interesting to think about the connections between these totally different areas.
Yeah. Before we get too deep into that, though, let's quickly recap what we've learned about yellow sticky traps.
Okay, so we've seen how simple and effective they are. They're a great tool to manage pests in your garden. We've also talked about how they can be an early warning system. You can actually identify what kind of bugs you have and how many there are.
Right, and we've started to get to know Aang a little bit, the software engineer turned gardener.
The software plumber, as he calls himself.
Yeah, exactly. But there's still more to explore. We've just scratched the surface of Aang's different interests and what they could tell us about how knowledge connects in different ways. So stick around as we keep diving into the world of yellow sticky traps and the fascinating world of Aang, the software plumber turned expert gardener.
This is exciting. It's kind of cool to think about how Aang's software background could be influencing his gardening.
For sure. We were talking about that before the break, right? Like, could those software skills actually transfer over to gardening?
Yeah, exactly. It makes me think of debugging. In software, you're always hunting for errors in the code, trying to find the problem and fix it. Kind of like gardening in a way, isn't it?
You know what? It totally is. You're looking at your plants, trying to spot any signs of pests or diseases. Then you have to figure out what's going wrong and how to fix it. It really is like detective work, but for plants.
Exactly. And someone like Aang, with his software background, might see things a bit differently. Maybe he's more likely to analyze patterns or test different solutions carefully, you know, documenting everything as he goes.
Like he's applying a software development mindset to his garden.
Yeah, that's it. And who knows, maybe all that time in the garden, where things are always growing and changing, could actually be influencing his work as a software engineer, too.
Whoa, I never thought of it that way. It's like a feedback loop. Each area is making the other one stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to that curiosity, that willingness to try new things and see how they connect. Which brings us back to Aang's blog.
Right. It's not just about sticky traps. He's got stuff about fish keeping, programming languages, even dieting. What could possibly connect all these random interests?
I think it's that drive to understand how things work, whether it's a computer program or a fish tank or even the human body.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be searching for those fundamental principles, those patterns that connect things that seem totally different.
And he's not just reading about it. He's actually out there trying things himself and writing about his experiences. He's really a lifelong learner.
He is, and it makes me wonder what we can learn from his approach. Maybe it's a reminder to never stop being curious, to keep exploring new things, even if they seem a bit scary at first.
I like that. It's all about breaking down those walls between different fields and realizing that what you learn in one area can help you in other areas too.
It's like he's saying, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Literally and figuratively, right?
Exactly.
And who knows, maybe there are all sorts of amazing connections hidden between our own interests, just waiting to be discovered.
You never know. We might all have a little bit of Aang in us, that desire to understand the world around us, and maybe these simple yellow sticky traps can be a symbol of that.
A symbol of what, exactly?
A symbol of paying attention, of noticing those little details, of asking questions, and of always being open to learning something new, no matter where you find it.
That's a great way to put it. It reminds me of something you mentioned earlier about those traps being like a bug surveillance system.
Oh yeah, they give you a peek into a world you wouldn't normally see, a whole world full of activity and complexity.
And just like those traps catch insects, maybe we can develop our own ways of capturing knowledge and insights from the world.
Absolutely. Whether it's through carefully watching things like Aang in his garden, or through reading and research, or experimenting with our own hands, there are so many ways to engage with the world and learn more.
And when we do that, we might just find those aha moments that make learning so much fun.
I love those moments. It's like we're all on a quest to find those hidden connections, those threads that tie everything together.
And sometimes it's the simplest things that can lead us on that journey, like a yellow sticky trap.
Exactly. But our deep dive isn't over yet. We've still got more to uncover.
You know, thinking about those sticky traps as a way to find those hidden connections has really got me thinking.
Me too. It's amazing how something so simple can lead to such an interesting conversation.
We started talking about pest control, then we got into environmental stuff, problem solving, and now we're talking about how knowledge connects in different areas. It's like we've gone on a whole adventure, all thanks to Aang and his yellow sticky traps.
It really shows you how important it is to pay attention and stay curious. Even the most ordinary things can teach us something new if we just take a closer look.
That's so true. And it reminds me of something Aang mentioned in his post about monsoon season.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Sounds like he lives somewhere with some pretty intense weather.
Right, and that must have a huge impact on how he gardens. It makes me think about how those external factors like the climate and the time of year affect not just the plants, but also the pests.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Imagine how the number of pests might change throughout the year, and how different types of bugs might do better in different weather conditions. It's a whole ecosystem that's constantly shifting and changing.
And that means Aang has to be constantly adapting his strategies, watching for those changes, and adjusting his approach.
Exactly. It's not enough to just have a plan. You have to be flexible and ready to respond to whatever nature throws at you.
It's like a dance between the gardener and the garden. They're both influencing each other.
Love that analogy. And, that idea of adapting and responding isn't just about gardening. It applies to so many parts of life, from our relationships to our work.
Totally. We're all dealing with complex systems that are constantly changing. Just like Aang in his garden, we need to learn how to observe, analyze, and adapt if we want to succeed.
Couldn't agree more. I think that's a fantastic takeaway from our deep dive today. We can learn so much by watching nature, understanding how systems work, how things are connected, and how change is always happening.
And how even something as simple as a yellow sticky trap can reveal a whole world of hidden wonders.
So true. As we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listeners with one final thought. What seemingly unrelated fields or hobbies could you connect to learn something new? What hidden patterns and connections might be out there just waiting for you to discover them?
That's a great challenge for everyone listening. Go out there, embrace your curiosity, and see what you can find. And remember, the most amazing insights often come from the simplest observations. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.